Hello. I imagine you probably know this if you're watching my channel, but just in case you don't, I am a producer and a host for SciShow, which is a channel that is part of Complexly, which also makes Crash Course and Bizarre Beasts and Study Hall and PBS Eons and Ask Hank Anything and like a ton of other educational media stuff. As of like a few months ago, Complexly is now a nonprofit. The entire company met up for an in-person retreat last month, and so I had the thought, what a great opportunity to torture some of my coworkers by making them watch a proto-ancient aliens documentary from the 1970s. First, here's some context about that documentary. I can't find much of it. It's called In Search of Ancient Astronauts. It's from 1973. As far as I can find, it doesn't have a connection to modern-day ancient aliens at all, except for the fact that it's based on Erich von Däniken's book, Chariots of the Gods. You might know Erich von Däniken from Modern Ancient Aliens or from Being Dead. His book had just come out a few years prior, and it's responsible for popularizing ancient astronaut theory. Anyway, he sucked and he was a racist and we hate him. This movie was produced by Alan Landsburg, who appeared to have started off making like normal documentaries for National Geographic and Jacques Cousteau, and then pivoted to whatever the hell this is. And also like fiction TV movies, or, you know, like films that are honest about the fact that they're fiction. This documentary might be an edited version of the 1970 German Chariots of the Gods documentary, but I can't really verify that information. Slightly more credulous is that this documentary is a pilot for Landsberg's later series called In Search Of, which covered all kinds of paranormal stuff and was hosted by Leonard Nimoy of all people. The documentary we are watching today also features some pretty interesting names, but I'm gonna let those be a surprise to you because they were a surprise to us. The only evidence I can find of this film's original air date is from a Mirror upload, which says that it originally aired on the NBC network on January 5th, 1973. The description for that Mirror upload also says, 16mm prints of this were also fixtures of many a school classroom for much of the second half of the 70s. Which I hope is not true. And that is literally all of the context I can find about this film. I had originally planned to do like a separate watch through of this on my own so I could explain what was going on and like where it went, and then I could intersperse everybody's silly comments into that, but there is no point. This film is literally just, what if we put every possible thing that could be tangentially related to ancient aliens into a box, shook it up really good, and dumped it onto an editing timeline. I'm not walking you through the film separately because there is legitimately nothing to walk through. This film is a collage. And now for some context about the recording. We recorded this in a dark hotel boardroom after we all had a wonderful time at our company dinner where we were celebrating becoming a nonprofit. And it was like 10 p.m. I don't know if you've ever tried to record a dozen people at different levels of sobriety doing commentary together. It quickly devolves into 3 simultaneous podcasts. I did my best. Did I mention it was dark in there? Also, I try to keep my channel like PG, PG-13 for the most part, but please be advised the rest of this video has a lot of cursing, and some of the jokes are not what I would call child-friendly. Enjoy.
Oh, it's 26 minutes.
That's 2 halves.
Oh, I was so excited.
It's an educational film.
Yeah, it is educational.
To be clear.
Yeah, is that what it says? It's by Alan Landsburg Productions.
The tag says educational film.
Leave a comment.
When was Xerox Films a thing? That's embarrassing.
It is possible that ancient astronauts went in search of life beyond their own world and found it on the planet Earth.
That's us.
The existence of other intelligent beings in the universe.
This sounds like a Rod Serling knockoff.
Hey! Our Egypt guy.
I am the Egypt guy.
Egypt
That
guy,
is Ramses II and not an alien at all. He wrote his name on it many times. I have photos of me standing next to a cartouche of Ramses II that is bigger than me.
I think you missed what he said, which is perhaps.
Whenever we fact check something and they say it's wrong, we just add perhaps.
Yeah.
Oh my shit, things fit inside other things!
Oh, that seems really alien-y.
I love ball and cup. I love.
Ooh, a battery.
Oh, not
That's
this.
for real.
Not this.
You can't.
Are we already at the battery?
Already on the Baghdad Battery.
That was
Already.
so fast.
There's a lady on Instagram recently who accidentally created a battery because she put her Jell-O in a copper bowl and put aluminum foil on top of it. And so the idea that like they couldn't figure that out when a lady on Instagram called the Midwest Mom did it.
Aliens had to tell the Midwest Mom how to do it too.
Oh, it's Erich von Däniken.
Erich von Däniken!
Rod Serling! No! Rod Serling! I feel betrayed.
Oh, we're Easter Island. No.
From Olmec Heads to Moai.
Yeah.
brown people carving things out of stone.
They were like, okay, so
Not possible. Not possible. It has to be aliens.
something, it must be aliens.
Yeah.
The oldest of these maps dates back to approximately the 1st century A.D.
No, it doesn't.
Most likely.
No, it doesn't.
They didn't know. It was the 70s. They didn't have science yet.
You're falling into the same trap that they fall into with the ancient aliens, saying they didn't have science yet.
Does anyone want to talk about the map that they told us was from the 1st century that they zoomed in and showed us the Arabic script?
And look, we all know that Arabic script happened,
Not in the 1st century.
obviously.
Hold on. They could be using the Islamic calendar.
I was looking at the list of longest, like, living monarchs who had, like, the longest reign. Most of them are Maya. Like, they're...
Yes.
That's because they're aliens. Right, it's because they're aliens. Are you even fucking watching this? They're all aliens.
Why are we in Africa now? Why? What's happening? That's where the aliens are, Jess.
I'm a little concerned that we've gone to different places on the Earth already, and it's been like 5 minutes of video.
If I've learned anything from Star Wars, all planets are kind of just one thing.
Yeah.
So this is kind of, it's kind of using that principle.
Yeah.
You land on Earth, it's just alien stuff.
Is this real? This is just a prop?
No, it's real.
All right.
Oh, aliens definitely built that shit.
Aliens definitely built that.
The aliens have built every telescope.
I don't think this is real space footage.
Man, that shit's fake.
I think you might be right.
I don't know. I'm just throwing it out there.
This seems real.
No.
No.
If he teaches you about science, don't listen.
Ooh, hey, that's alien shit.
That's round. That's gotta be alien. It's giving Nazca. It's giving Nazca Lines.
Is it Nazca Lines?
Or no, it's a roof of a cave. It's up on the top of the cave. It's cold. He's wearing a scarf.
But I just want to point out that like none of us were sure for a second there if this was the Nazca Lines or if this was the roof of a cave, because that is how absolutely disconnected from anything in geography or real space this is.
This is also premised on the idea that like all astronauts look the same. They were like, well, our American astronauts have like spacesuits like this, so this drawing must be what every astronaut has looked like. And it's like that's fucked up.
In fairness, though, that looks like an astronaut.
No, that is the skull-headed guy from Scooby-Doo.
The penis! It's definitely a penis!
It's always a penis.
The penis! It's the first one I've ever seen!
Congratulations.
This is an unironically beautiful.
It's really good. You did a good job.
I want one lower third.
Yes.
I want one lower third.
Xerox can't afford it.
There's not been a graphic on screen.
No.
Not a single graphic.
B-roll an interview.
It's an astronaut in a fucking moon capsule. It's an astronaut in a moon
Wearing a
capsule.
helmet.
Can't be anything else.
Can't possibly be anything else of a person in a vaguely crouched posture.
Yeah.
So every time they show someone that looks like they're piloting a spaceship, the fact is I've laid back like that and eaten grapes exactly like that in my own bed.
Hey, Catholicism.
I think this is Eastern Orthodox.
That is Eastern Orthodox. Also, I want to say
and Jewish. That's all right. The Jew was wrong with the Christian religion.
What?
That's Jesus Christ.
These guys are just bumper car racing, all right? Leave them alone.
They're literally Star Wars pod racing. Those are pods.
I do love the idea that they're just like randomly some UFOs, just like the crucifixion is happening and then there's just UFOs.
They painted Jesus so many times, like they got bored and put aliens in it.
Yeah. Well, you're sitting there scribing. It's a long day. Your wrist hurts.
You're like,
I'm
I'm gonna put a guy in that comet.
gonna put a guy in it.
Yeah.
Put a penis in this corner.
Megan.
Megan saw a penis for the first time and
It's made an impression.
Celebrating!
Megan, you should really watch Sex Ed.
We have a show that you made. We got cuneiform, everybody.
Oh, now there's cuneiform. Oh my God, is that the fucking stone of fucking
Rosetta?
No.
This is the thing. There are so many books. Some of them are gonna have aliens in them.
It's not like we invented the idea.
No.
That looks dope, actually. That's super cool.
Yeah, I like
That's a tiny coffin. Is there an alien in there? They've gotten so much better at ancient aliens since the 70s.
No, actually. So real lore here. They built a dam that flooded this original temple out of it would have been underwater. So what they had to do was get a bunch of cranes and fucking lift it to a new location that wasn't built in. So that is what we are looking at, is that this temple of Ramses II has been moved.
So Alex has a degree in some fucking bullshit about biology.
That's true.
And yet for no reason knows everything about Egypt.
That's
and
true.
that's on neurodivergence.
There's a hill.
Oh shit! How did it take so long? Now we are Google debunking.
If there was a drinking game built around all of the ancient aliens, like special interests that would show up in this documentary, it would kill you. It would kill you. We're gonna get to the end of this, and they're gonna be like, the first interstate bank tower in Billings, Montana was aliens.
Hey, Savannah's audience, if you ever want me and Savannah to hang out and talk about cryptids, me
Are we doing cryptid ASMR now?
Me and Alex are doing cryptid ASMR on Savannah's YouTube channel, and don't worry about it.
There's nothing they can do about it.
The flathead lake monster was a childhood crush of mine.
Is that Greece?
We will never know.
No, it's not.
Is this Greece?
This is the Sphinx. This is the Great Sphinx.
Island, okay? Well, it's Rapa Nui, you fucks.
Is this Greece?
This is still Rapa Nui.
That they have absolutely proven that people could have made these statues by experimental archaeology of just like gently walking them towards from where they were carved to the place where they were mounted.
Cool.
It's very cool and interesting experimental science. It is a testable hypothesis that was validated through observation and experimentation, and that's fucking science,
I will say,
bitches.
there's this like very like fucked up weird bullshit about like white people not believing that brown people can do art, and it's like, hey, examine that. Straight up examine that. Like, the pyramids are art. The Easter Island statues are art. Like, it's like, why do you not believe that people who aren't white people can do art?
I'm not kidding about this. All these statues used to have really rad coral hats.
They did.
They really did
rad coral hats.
And they had 8-packs like Taylor Lautner and the Twilight film series.
Let's go Lines!
Yeah! Nazca Lines!
Is this Greece?
This is South America.
So my favorite bit about the Nazca Lines is they're always like, oh, these were clearly designed for something that could only see it from the sky, and they always show it with shots of some of the tallest mountains in the Western Hemisphere, right over there.
Who could have possibly seen this? Someone on the mountain?
Yeah.
Oh, Jesus. The camera work is bad.
The fact that it's not playing at all.
Claire, as a brilliant genius artist, have you ever made a giant spider painting in the desert?
Not yet. Get on that. Welcome.
It's a penis!
I've been looking for penis and I'm so happy. I know, you think I haven't heard that?
Is this Greece?
That is mission control. Wait, is this Carl? Is this Carl?
He's in his cuntiest Chris Evans from Knives Out sweater.
Who is this? This is not Carl, is it?
Marx. That's Karl Marx.
I can't believe Karl Marx would be in this documentary.
It's really brought capitalism, actually.
Listen, okay. Dialectical materialism. Right.
That was Carl Sagan.
No, it was not.
It was.
No, it was
I know, that's why we're freaking out.
Right.
Savannah is fucking shook right now.
Savannah, how are you doing? I was about to explain dialectical materialism, but if you don't want me to, I won't.
Dad. Sorry.
Give us a crash.
Dialectical materialism is like when you have a thought and someone else has another thought, and then together your thought forms a third thought.
A secret third thing.
There we go. Secret third thing.
Yeah. And the thought is the proletariat rules.
What did Carl Sagan? We do. We are going to rewind to the Carl Sagan.
The question arises, might there have been a visit to the Earth in historical terms. There are popular books on this subject. It's an idea which people find exciting. It's a kind of scientific justification of theological belief, which people would rather believe in any case. It's kind of modern dress for old-time religion. Well, what about that? Is that possible or not? I can only say that you can't exclude the possibility, but there's not a smidgen of evidence that is compelling.
Smidgen. Thank you, Carl. Let's my guy Carl. Let's give it up for our boy Carl.
Truth and rationality prevail.
Savannah was about to like totally rethink their entire existence.
You know that thing you just watched for the past hour?
Yeah.
It's all bullshit.
Midget of evidence.
They definitely interviewed him for longer and got nothing else.
The nicest thing you could say to them, it's a lot of fun to think about.
The real aliens are the friends we met along the way.
Thank you so much for watching. If you want to say thank you to me, you can hit that subscribe button. I would be very appreciative. My goal this year is to make one video every month. And so if it is May of 2026 and I have not posted anything between this video and then, you have to yell at me. Thank you, goodbye.
Is this Greece?
This is the YouTube up next recommended screen.